Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's class, I am going to take you to one of the most important topics in English, which is called starters. It is a model derived from the topic which is called as simple compound complex. So, when you learn simple compound complex, you can solve the questions which are related to the starters. You cannot learn starters topic directly without knowing the basics. So, first I will teach you some basics of simple compound complex sentences. I will teach you the background of it, and later in chapter 2, that means in the same video, in continuation, I will take you through the detailed explanation of starters. And this particular topic will be useful for all kinds of government aspirants. But remember, this is specially useful for the people who are preparing for UPSC, the other PSCs, banks, and CAT examinations. And please watch the video till the end to get a clear understanding of the topic. Remember, as I told you in the beginning only, this is going to be one of the advanced English grammatical topic. So you should have all the basic knowledge, not just this simple compound complex. You should know extreme basics also to understand this. So if you want to get some analysis or some understanding of the basic grammar, please go to my other videos and watch them. And let us get into the topic here. First, I will take you through the identification of phrases and clauses, the most important point in this topic. What is a phrase and what is a clause? So the sentences that we are going to do in the further examples completely are the combinations of either phrases or clauses. So without knowing them, you cannot frame a sentence. So first, I will teach you what is a phrase, and later I will teach you what is a clause. I will teach you types of and variations of phrases and also types of clauses. Okay, so let us go through the definition. Look at the phrase. What is a phrase? Look at this. What is a phrase? Phrase is a group of words that does not have subject verb agreement. Sir, what is subject verb agreement? See, I'm going to teach you the way that all sections of people would understand this. Okay, I will not be restricting myself to only one section of people. So please make sure that you don't expect all advanced points. I will also teach very basic, average, and also advanced points, three combinations. So let us first understand what is subject verb agreement. See, any sentence you take in English, they have basically a subject, a verb, and an object. Subject is called as the doer of the action. In Telugu, we call them karta, karma, kriya. And there is a verb. Sometimes the verb is only main verb. Sometimes the verb is only helping verb. Sometimes the verb is helping verb with the main verb. Any of these three combinations is called as verb only. Next, coming to the next part, that is object. Object is called as the receiver of the action. It is called as a receiver. So doer can be called as karta, verb is called as kriya, and a receiver is called as karma. So in Telugu we use them basically. So students from English background should directly understand. One who does the action is called as subject. One who receives the action is called as object. As simple as it is. Now the point is, what is subject verb agreement? See, subject verb agreement is where when you take one subject, let us take a simple word here. What is this word here? Mahesh. Okay, so Mahesh are playing cricket. So if I write this statement here, are playing is a verb combination, helping verb with main verb. Cricket is one noun, Mahesh is one noun. Now out of these two nouns, this is noun number one, this is noun number two. Out of these two nouns, which noun is doing this action? Which noun is doing this action? Which noun? Mahesh noun is doing the action. So this will become the subject, and cricket will obviously become the object. The point is, you should have agreement between this subject and verb. Sir, what is agreement now? Agreement is nothing but when the subject is in the singular form, the verb also should be in the singular. When the subject is in plural form, the verb also should be used in the plural. That's how you need to change the verb or agree the verb with the subject. So if it is in such case, that is called as subject verb agreement. Now, what is the subject of the sentence here? Subject of the sentence is Mahesh. This is the subject. Clear? What is a verb combination here? This is helping verb and this is main verb. So the logic is the subject Mahesh should agree with the verb are. Is it agreeing or not? Absolutely not. What is the correct answer here? It is not are. The correct answer is is. So Mahesh is playing cricket. This is called agreement. So the logic is, if there is no subject verb agreement like this in between the subject and verb, if there is no agreement, that part can be called as a phrase. What is it called? Phrase. Okay. So please make a note of the sentence by pausing the video for some time and going further. Look at this. Clause. What is a clause? Clause is a group of words that has subject verb agreement. That has subject verb agreement. It should have subject verb agreement. Let us say, look at this. Kids is playing chess. What is the subject of the sentence here? Kids is the subject. They are doing the action. Is playing is a verb combination. And the word chess is nothing but object. Now the logic is, subject is a singular subject or plural subject. That's plural, right? So your verb also should be used in plural. That is are. Clear? So subject verb agreement should be agreed with each other like this. Like singular subject should be agreed with singular verb. If it is a plural subject, should be agreed with the plural verb. Okay, this is called subject verb agreement, right? So let us now go further. Let us now go further and look at the sentences here. I have given you one sentence. What is the sentence? Mr. Karthik wrote an exam yesterday. Now the point is this a phrase or a clause? What did I tell you? To identify a clause, you should have subject verb agreement. So what is a verb? First of all, come to the verb. What is a verb? Wrote, which is a V2 form. That is verb form 2, past form. Who is doing this action? The word wrote, the action wrote, is done by whom? Is it done by an exam, or is it done by Karthik, or is it done by yesterday? Who is doing this action? Mr. Karthik. So that is nothing but subject. And an exam would obviously become object, right? So Karthik is doing this action. Clearly all the subjects, irrespective of singular or plural, can agree with the verb form V2. There is no difference. You can use all the subjects. That means singular subjects or plural subjects, you can agree with V2. See, let us say the word ate is V2. Okay, the word ate is V2. You can say I ate, we ate, you ate, they ate. At the same time, he ate, she ate, it ate. No change. All the verbs can be used with V2 directly without any change, but the statement is in the past. So is there agreement or not? Yes. So this part will become a phrase or a clause. This part is obviously a clause. Now let's go to one more statement. Look at this statement. What is this? Watching the emotional scene. What is it? Watching the emotional scene. There is a verb, obviously. What is a verb? Watching. Okay, clearly, no problem. But who is watching? Who is watching here? Who is watching? Nobody is watching. Is there a subject who is doing this action? See, scene is noun, but this cannot become subject. No, this is object. Somebody should watch the scene, right? So what is missing from here? You are missing the subject. So when there is no subject, when there is only verb, obviously it would become what? Phrase or a clause. That would become a phrase, right? That is one more case. Next, coming to one more statement, look at this. Suma won the game of chess against her friend. See, what is the verb form here? One is a verb form which is V2. Who won? Suma won. So Suma will become what here? Subject. So is there a subject verb agreement between these two? Obviously. So this part will become a clause. Clear? Next. Coming to the third one. Fourth one. What is the statement? In spite of the initial failures. In spite of the initial failures. The sense is though there is a failure initially. So if you look at this combination, the initial failures can be used as a subject, that is a noun form. But do you find a verb here? Is there a verb? There is no verb. Verb is missing completely. So this part is nothing but a phrase. So guys, that is how you understand what is a subject verb agreement. So the point is, in total, phrase is a group of words that doesn't have subject verb agreement, And remember, clause is a group of words that has subject verb agreement. And to still take you to little more details, remember we have A, B, C, D, E, F letters, right? Using the letters, we form words. We form what? Words. Using the words, we form sentences. What do we form? Sentences. And this sentence is two types. One part is nothing but phrase, and another part is nothing but clause. Okay, so phrase is a group of words that doesn't have subject verb agreement. There is no subject verb agreement. Clause is a group of words that has subject verb agreement. Clear? So one more thing is, to state that some statement is a phrase, you should have minimal two words. Minimal two words. And to state that something is a clause, again you should have minimum two words. And here these two words should not agree with each other, and here the two words should agree with each other. So that's how you understand what is a phrase and what is a clause. Clear? So phrase, no subject verb agreement. Clause, yes, there is subject verb agreement. Okay, so what is subject verb agreement? If there is singular subject, you should have singular verb. If there is plural subject, you should have plural verb. Agreement should be there properly. Next. Now I will take you to three variations of phrases. See, I think even bank aspirants who are already employees, and also UPSC aspirants who are already employees, may not know this. This is extremely advanced point that I'm going to teach you, but very simple one. Just you are not aware of this, that's it. Okay. So a phrase can be three types. Look at this type 1. So in this part, you will see only a verb. That means you will not see a subject. There is no subject, only verb. Look at the example very carefully. Reading the story, I cried a lot. Look at this second part. I is subject, cried is V2. There is a combination of subject verb agreement. Of course, this is a clause, but we are not speaking about this. Look at the first part. What is the first part? Reading the story. Reading is a verb form, clearly. The story can be object. The story cannot read, right? The story cannot do the action. So story cannot be the subject. It is only object. Now what is missing here? Subject is missing. There is no subject. There is only verb. So group of words that only have the verb can be called as phrases. They only have a verb. They don't have the subject. They don't have the doer. The doer is completely missing. This fellow is out. Clear? So that thing can be called as a phrase. Clear? That is point number 1. Next, point number 2. Second point, type 2 we can say. Type 2 is different from the first one. Okay. So here you will see only subject, and what will be missing is the verb. You will not see a verb combination. You will see only subject. You will see only doer. So if there is only subject without the verb, of course that is a phrase. If there is only verb without subject, yes, that is also a phrase. Now let us look at an example. Look at this one here. It being a rainy day, we could not go out. Okay. So if you look at this statement very carefully, look at this. We is a subject. Could not go is nothing but a verb combination. Go out is an adverb there. Out is different case. So could not go is a combination of helping verb plus main verb. This combination can be obviously called as a clause. This is crystal clear, a clause. But we are not speaking about that again. We are speaking about the first part. What is the first part? It being a rainy day. Yes, it can be taken as a subject, no problem. But remember, there is a verb here. Of course, that is a helping verb. What is helping verb? Being. And what you should know, I will make a separate video on the word being, but here I'm telling you one combination. Remember, the word being never and ever agrees with any subject directly. The word being never agrees with any subject directly. And one more thing is, the word being is a replacement of the helping verbs, which are is, am, are, was, were. These words which I have written now in English are called as be forms. Okay, they are called as be forms. The point is, these be forms can be replaced with the word being. For example, let us try this out. Look at this. Let me put a word here, was. It was a rainy day, we could not go out. Now when you use the word it was a rainy day, absolutely that is a clause. But we are not using it was, we are only using the word being. So because of this, The word being doesn't agree with the subject. That means there is no verb combination. There is only a subject in this position. There is verb missing. So when there is only verb, subject missing, that is a phrase. When there is only subject, there is no verb, even that is also a phrase. Okay. Next, coming to the third one, and this is a bit again different thing. Okay. See, look at this. What is the title here? What's the title? Can you read the title? No agreement. Okay, there is no agreement. Now, look at this. Students listening to the teacher, they answered all the questions. They is subject, answered is a verb form, which is V2. The questions is object. There is subject verb agreement. This part is nothing but a clause. There is no doubt at all. Of course, this is a clause. But again, I'm not speaking about that, guys. I'm speaking about the first part. What is the first part? Students listening to the teacher. See, the word listening is obviously a verb form. And students is what here? Students is subject form. The teacher can be taken as object or predicate, keep that aside. Okay, we are not bothered about it. The point is, you might ask me, sir, there is a subject and there is a verb, and how do you say that is a phrase? I still say that is a phrase because the verb listening, which is a ing form. See, we basically have the verbs like V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. See, let us say the words like eat, ate, eaten, eating, and another one is eats. Okay, clear? These are basically verb forms. Every verb, you take any verb, okay, every verb form has all these 5 forms. Let us take the word go. Okay, go, went, gone, going, goes. Let us take the word cry. Cry, cried, cried, crying, cries. So when you have all these combinations, the point is, which of these verbs can be agreed with the subject directly? Directly, I said directly. Subject can directly be agreed with the verb, which is V1. Subject agrees with the verb, which is V2. And subject also agrees with the verb, that is V5. Remember, without any helping verb, any word in the middle, you can just simply say, I eat fruits. You can also say, I ate fruits. If it is a third person, you say, he eats fruits. That's it. So do you have any helping verb or something like that in between? No, right? So V1, V2, V5. V5 is nothing but V1 plus S forms. Okay. So these 3 forms, they have the quality of agreeing with the subject directly. And what are the other 2 verb forms that do not agree? That is V3 and V4. If they have to agree, there should be a helping verb. See, for example, let us say here in this case, if at all you tell me, sir, shall we put a helping verb here and make the sentence agree? Yes. You can say, students are listening to the teacher. Or you can say, students were listening to the teacher. Both are past forms only. You can say students are listening, students were, sorry, both are plural forms only. Students are listening or students were listening. Anything is fine. But without this helping verb, only V4 form, this doesn't agree with the subject. The logic is now, yes, there is a subject, yes, there is a verb, but there is no agreement between these 2 subject and verb words. And hence we have the definition. What is the definition? Phrase is a group of words that doesn't have subject verb agreement. If subject is missing, that is a phrase. If verb is missing, that is a phrase. If agreement is missing, even that's also a phrase. Okay, clear? So this is all background that I'm going to teach you. So remember, this is all related to the simple, compound, complex sentences. And once we get into the starters, we come to understand the importance of all this. Okay, right. Now let us we move on to the next one. This is types of clauses. See, clauses are 2 types. Directly, no beating around the bush. Directly, we'll look at them. Clauses are 2 types. Now tell me, what do you mean by a clause? Clause is a group of words that has subject verb agreement. It is a complete sense. Okay. See, even in phrase, we can say phrase is a group of words that doesn't have subject verb agreement. That is one case. And at the same time, it is incomplete. It is incomplete. No sense at all. There is no sense. There is no meaning. There is no meaning. There is no meaning. There is no proper meaning. You cannot frame a meaning. Okay. So it is incomplete. There is no uh, completion of the sentence. But clause is different. Clause is a group of words again, which is subject verb agreement, and there is a sense, there is a completeness, there is a meaning. And that clause is two types. One is subordinating clause. What is this called? Subordinating clause. Another one is main clause. See, subordinating clause is also called as dependent clause. Depend is you're not powerful. You're going to depend on somebody else. You're incomplete person, you can say. You're incomplete person. Dependent in the sense you are incomplete person. See, when we study for the exams and all, we depend on our parents. We're not powerful. And main clause is called as independent clause. Independent is nothing but it's so powerful. It's so powerful. It need not depend on any other thing. It has an individual meaning. Okay. So let me put out two sentences here. Look at this. Look at this part. What is this sentence here? If you go soon. See, you is a subject. Yes. Go is a V1. Subject verb can agree directly. No problem. And if you read this statement from here to here, is there a meaning? There is no meaning. So look at this. If you go soon, it is like a condition. In Telugu we say, no tvarga velte. So what does it mean? Is there a complete sense? No, right? It is incomplete. Of course, there is a subject verb agreement. Still, it is incomplete. Look at this. I'm writing one more statement. Look at this. You can watch the movie. Look at this. You is a subject. Can watch is a verb. You go to somebody and say you can watch the movie, and that fellow will say either thank you or no, I don't want to watch. He would say any of that. He would respond to you first. But you go and say to somebody, if you go soon and come out of there, you just go to somebody and say, if you go soon and come out of that place, what would he think? He would think you are mad, because it senses like you're speaking something that is incomplete, right? So that's what I'm saying. So subject verb agreement, yes, there is. But the point is, in dependent clause, the meaning is incomplete. The meaning is incomplete. But in independent clause, the meaning is complete. Now, let me tell you why. I will put on one mark on that word. That's important word here. What is that word? This word. The first word. What is that word? If. The word if is nothing but that's a subordinating conjunction. Clear? So without that, without the word if you read this sentence, you go soon, it's absolutely meaningful. There is no doubt at all. You go soon. You go to somebody and say you go soon. That fellow clearly understands it. But when you add the word if to this go, you go soon. If you go soon, then out. There is no meaning there. So the point is, when you add a subordinating conjunction to one main clause, you're adding a subordinating conjunction to one main clause. See, main clause is clearly meaningful. There is no doubt at all. Till there is no subordinating conjunction, it is meaningful. But once you add the subordinating conjunction to the main clause, immediately the entire clause gets affected and it becomes incomplete. And this incomplete sentence is called as subordinating clause. What is it called? Subordinating clause. So you need to please take down a note of all this. You can go back, you can pause the video, you write the notebook once you complete watching the entire video. Okay. So meanwhile, we are going to the next one. Look at this statement. What is the statement here? I want you to find out which is the subordinating clause and which is the main clause. You need to find out the dependent clause and independent clause. Okay. So let us see how many of you can do that. You can pause for a while and you can answer. No problem. Answer for yourself. You need not to wait for my explanation. And as we go through here, look at this. Though he was busy, he answered my calls. Look at this. He is a subject. Was is a verb. There is subject verb agreement. And he is a subject, answered is a verb. Yes, there is a subject verb agreement. Both of them are clauses, but we are not bothering about which is a phrase and which is a clause. Of course, both are clauses, but the point is which clause is what? The first part, and this is the second part. Now my question is, which one is the subordinating clause and which one is the main clause? The first part is subordinating or main clause. The first one is subordinating clause. Why is that? Yes, there is a subject, there is a verb, but point is the word though. When you add the word though to this first clause, you can read that for yourself. What is this? Though he was busy. So you go to somebody and say, though he was busy. Telugu, అతను బిజీగా ఉన్నా కూడా అతను బిజీగా ఉన్నప్పటికీ is it a complete meaning? No, right? That's what I'm been telling you. So though he was busy, అతను బిజీగా ఉన్నా కూడా, so you're not completing the sentence. You're not completing the sentence. So there is a subject verb agreement, but still the sentence is incomplete. That is because of conjunction, which is subordinating conjunction. Now when you add a subordinating conjunction to one clause, the whole clause changes into a subordinating clause. Yes. Now the remaining part, obviously, when the subordinating clause is dependent clause, it depends on the main clause. There should be a main clause to complete it, to complete the sentence. Now let us look at the another sentence here. Can you identify which is subordinating clause, which is main clause? Look at this. I was absent yesterday. This is sentence number 1. Another one is, since I was sick. You try to find out which is a subordinating clause and which is a main clause. Yes, are you done? Yes, look at this. I was subject verb agreement. Again, I was subject verb agreement. Clear? Both of them have subject verb agreement. But which of these two sentences can stand individually? Look at this. You go to somebody and say, I was absent yesterday. You would say, okay, fine. You come tomorrow, no problem at all. So he would respond to you, right? But when you go to somebody and say, since I was sick, because I was sick, as I was sick, you go to somebody and say, నేను సిగ్గా ఉన్నాను కాబట్టి, so kabatti what further? He would look at your face. Okay, tell further. Come on, go on. Because he's unable to understand what you said, because you said something that is incomplete. It is incomplete because of only one word. What is that word? Since. Again, this is subordinating conjunction. So subordinating conjunctions would make you feel like you are incomplete. Though there is subject verb agreement, you are still incomplete. Okay. So now one more thing you need to identify is, first, in the first sentence, the first part is subordinating clause and the second clause is main clause. But coming to this part, the first part is main clause. Okay. The second part is subordinating clause. Sir, how to identify that is main clause is subordinating clause? See, remember, if the subordinating conjunction is in the beginning of the sentence, the first part is subordinating clause. If the subordinating conjunction is in the middle of the sentence like this, the second part is a subordinating clause. Okay. Obviously, the opposite part will become main clause. And the logic is, you can reverse both of these clauses. You can reverse both of these clauses without even changing little bit of the meaning. You can reverse these two. You can reverse these two. Can you reverse that? Since I was sick, I was absent yesterday. Since I was sick, I was absent yesterday. The meaning is, because I was sick, I was absent yesterday. Is there a meaning change? No, absolutely fine. So you can either use the sentence as subordinating clause first. Since it is dependent, you need to add main clause, that is case number 1. Or first you can add a main clause, okay, and followed by a subordinating clause without changing the meaning. Clear? Next. Now you guys find out which is subordinating clause, which is main clause. It's your time to do now. Look at this statement. What is this? If you do not come on time, you will not be allowed. If you do not come on time, you will not be allowed. Is there a subject verb agreement? First of all, yes, right? So you is subject, do not come is a verb combination. Yes, of course, that is a clause. We are not speaking about that. Next, again, you is a subject, will not be allowed is a verb combination again. But the point is, that is not subject verb agreement, that is object verb agreement. Okay, so that is structure, that is a different case. Don't bother about it now, but there is an agreement now. I want you to find out the first part from here to here is a subordinating clause or main clause, and the second part is subordinating or main clause. Yes, the first part is a subordinating clause. The reason behind this is there is a subordinating conjunction. Or if you feel like, sir, I don't directly know what is a subordinating conjunction, nothing to worry. Read only one part at a time. If you do not come on time, go to somebody and say, if you don't come on time, is it completed? No. Go to someone and say, if you don't come on time, you look at your don't come on time, what would you do? Next, what is the reaction? You need to add something, right? But you go to somebody and say this second statement, you will not be allowed. You will say, oh, why am I not allowed? Should I come early? Should I come late? He would respond to you obviously, because there is a sense. Clear? So now again, the first one is subordinating clause, second one is main clause. Next, coming to the fourth statement, this is the last one in this. Do you find it now? What is what? The faculty had begun the lecture before I reached the class. Tell me now. Yes, can you identify? The first part is nothing but a main clause, and the second part is obviously subordinating clause. Now, why is it subordinating clause? Point number one, there is a subordinating conjunction. Point number two, we can separate it and read. And the faculty had begun, there is a subject, there is a verb. I reached, there is a subject and there is a verb. So the point is, both are clauses, but one is subordinating, another one is main. Now here, those who have descriptive examinations, those people in UPSC and also the aspirant for bank and CAT, if you guys have any descriptive examinations, you please make a note of this one, the punctuation. Remember, when your sentence starts with subordinating conjunction, that means in the first part there is a subordinating clause. Only in such case you need to add comma after that subordinating clause. Next, you add main clause. But when it comes to the second statement, look at this. The subordinating conjunction is in the middle. The second part is nothing but subordinating clause. The first part is main clause. Okay, there is no comma here. You should not put a punctuation mark in between these two clauses. Again, coming to the third one, subordinating conjunction, there should be a comma, and coming to that, we have a main clause. But again, coming to the fourth one, the subordinating conjunction is in the middle. There is no punctuation. So only when the subordinating conjunction comes in the beginning of the statement, you should place a comma immediately after that clause. Next, now we are trying to understand what is a simple, what is a compound, what is a complex sentence. Okay, first let me take you through what is a simple sentence. See, simple sentence is a sentence which has a phrase with clause. Another quality of that is you can reverse these two. You can reverse like this. That comes clause with phrase. Same sentence, you can reverse it, no problem. Or one single main clause. Like, we regularly say like, I am eating, she is coming, I did not write the test, he called me, I did not eat. All these are main clauses only. In our entire life, the majority of the case, we use only one single clause, which is a main clause. So on paper and in books, in descriptive, most of the purpose we use simple, compound, complex in different ways. In simple, we use these two. In descriptive, examinations and all. Okay. So let me give you a couple of examples here. Okay. Let me say, look at this. Yes. Can you read the statement? What is this? In spite of working hard, he failed. So this is first part, right? In spite of working hard is the first part. He failed is the second part. He is a subject, failed is V2. Clear? So this part is absolutely a clause. Next, coming to the first part. In spite of working hard. See, working is a verb, of course. The word working is a verb. But who is working? Where is the subject? Is there a subject? No, subject is missing completely. So this part is together nothing but a phrase. Of course, this is a phrase. Now, phrase is independent or dependent? Absolutely dependent. It is incomplete. See, read only this part here. In spite of working hard, కష్టపడి పని చేసినా కూడా, is there a complete sense? No, right? So when there is no complete sense, that is either phrase or either subordinating clause. So this phrase obviously depends on the clause, and this clause is nothing but the main clause. Okay, this clause is nothing but a main clause. Without any conjunction, the clause is main clause. Okay. Or another logic is you can reverse these two sentences and reread them. Can you read these two sentences in reverse format? What is that? He failed in spite of working hard. So again, if you use the sentence, you don't have who is doing this action here. Of course, the sense is clear. Of course, the word he is only doing that action, but in this particular part of the sentence, there is no subject. We can understand orally, but on paper, we should have the subject combination. We don't have that. So obviously, you can use a phrase which is incomplete with a clause that is complete, or a clause that is complete with a phrase. Remember, you may have 100 phrases, but the sentence is still incomplete. You need at least one main clause, then the sentence is complete. Is that clear? So you may have 1,000, 1 lakh, 1 crore phrases. Remember, still the sentence is incomplete unless and until you put one little combination of one main clause, combination of subject verb. Just 2 word combination. If you put that, becomes main clause. That becomes a complete sentence. Or you can just simply say like, I am teaching. I am teaching English. I am teaching English. That is a main clause, and that is a simple sentence. So simple sentences are formed with either phrase with clause or clause with phrase, or just one main clause individually. Okay. Next, coming to the compound sentence. Look at the compound sentence very carefully. Compound sentence is a combination of two main clauses, that means two independent clauses, with the combination of fanboys. You know what is a fanboys? Fanboys is nothing but it is called coordinating conjunctions. The coordinating conjunctions. Okay, let me elaborate them for you. The word F refers to for, A refers to and, N refers to nor, B refers to but, O refers to or, Y refers to et, and S refers to so. So for, and, nor, but, or, et, so. All these combinations in short are called as fanboys. And the logic is, whenever fanboys are used, the clauses that you are using will become main clauses, two independent clauses. Okay. Now the above statement, I have written one statement, right? Now let me write the second statement here with the same meaning. Look at this. He worked hard, but he failed. Say, I'm using one conjunction. What is a conjunction? But I'm using two clauses here. He is subject, worked is V2, clause number 1. He is subject, failed is V2, clause number 2. Two main clauses are used with one conjunction. What is that conjunction here? But. Clear? So the word but combines these two main clauses, and but is for part of fanboys. So when you add two main clauses with the fanboys, that will become a compound sentence. What is it? Compound sentence. Okay. Now coming to the complex sentence. Look at this. Complex sentence. In complex sentence, you need a subordinating clause with main clause, or you can reverse it, just like we had seen before, with the main clause and subordinating clause. Now let me write one sentence here. Sentence number 3. Look at this. Can you read this statement now? Though he worked hard, he failed. Again, there is a subject verb agreement V2. Yes, there is a subject verb agreement V2. But the logic is the first part is incomplete. See, the same case, if you understand in this part, read the first part. What is the first part? He worked hard, meaningful. He failed, meaningful. So two main clauses are combined with but. That is a different case. But here, though he worked hard, పని చేసినా కూడా, అతను పని చేసినా కూడా, కష్టపడి పని చేసినా కూడా, is it complete? No, it's incomplete. Of course, there is subject verb agreement, but it's incomplete because there is subordinating conjunction. Clear? So this subordinating conjunction makes this entire statement subordinating clause, which is incomplete sentence, and this incomplete sentence should depend on the main clause. There is already a main clause here, no conjunction, right? So that becomes main clause. Or you can reverse these two statements, reverse these two and read it. He failed though he worked hard, meaning is same. Now guys, I will show magic. Look at this magic now. Look at this. Read the first statement. What is the first statement? In spite of working hard, he failed. You frame the meaning in your brain. He worked hard, but he failed. Clear? Meaning is same or different? Same meaning. Third one, though he worked hard, he failed. Meaning is again same. The meaning stays the same, only the sentence formation changes. That's the logic of simple compound complex sentences. And remember, I will teach a separate lecture. I will give a separate lecture related to this entire topic in another video. For now, our entire target is starters. Okay, so shall we dive in to the topic we have next? So before getting into that, let me first give you a brief analysis of what we have learned so far. So first we learned from very basic part, that is called letters. Okay, from letters we form words, and words are finally formed into sentences, and this sentence comes with the two types. Sentence is two types. One is called as what? Phrase, and another one is called as what? Clause. The second one is nothing but clause. Okay, phrase is a group of words that doesn't have subject verb agreement. Clause is a group of words that has subject verb agreement. Phrase can be three models. Okay, model number one, there is a subject but there is no verb. Okay, and second model, there is a verb but there is no subject. Third model, there is subject, there is verb, but the logic is there is no agreement. So if any of these three parts is missing, that part is called as a phrase. And clause is just simply group of words that has subject verb agreement. And remember, phrase is a incomplete sentence, is an incomplete sentence. It's an incomplete sentence, and clause is a complete sentence. Okay, so still it is incomplete, we have to take the help of main clause. Clear? So let us say if you combine due to the heat outside we could not come out. If you look at this part, due to the heat outside, this part is nothing but a phrase. There is heat outside, there is a subject, but there is no verb combination, right? We could not come out, there is a subject and verb combination. So like this part together, there is a phrase and there is a clause. This part becomes a simple sentence. What is it? Simple sentence. And clause is two types. Clause is two types. Okay, clause is two types. One is called as subordinating clauses, and another one is called as main clauses. This is called as independent clause, and this is called as dependent clause. Okay, now when we combine two main clauses, when you combine two main clauses with fanboys. What is a fanboys? Fanboys full form for, and, nor, but, or, at, s is so. Now this is combination of coordinating conjunctions. When there is a coordinating conjunction, you are speaking about a which sentence there? You are speaking about a compound sentence. Okay, so you can say the above sentence can be changed like this. It was hot outside, so we could not come out. Very clear, right? Now there is a conjunction between, that is so. Okay, the word so is already here, that is coordinating conjunction. It is a subject, was is a verb, we is a subject, could not come is a verb. Okay, that is a combination of subject verb agreement, and there is word so, fanboys, and that sentence should be called as compound sentence. And look at this, I'm changing this into complex sentence. What is a complex sentence combination? One subordinating clause with a combination of a main clause. Okay, in subordinating clause we already see a subordinating conjunction, right? There is already subordinating conjunction. Look at this. As it was hot outside, we could not come out. Is that clear? So if you look at the first part, what is the first part? As it was hot outside. As it was hot outside, the word as is a subordinating conjunction. So there is a subordinating clause, first one, which is incomplete, and we need a help of main clause on the other side. So this part is called as complex sentence. Clear? This part is called as what? Complex sentence. So if you look at the combinations like this, like from the very beginning, from letters to words to sentences, sentence is either phrase or a clause. Phrase is group of words that doesn't have subject verb agreement. Clause is a group of words that has subject verb agreement. Okay, again, clause is two types, phrase is three variations. If you can understand this background properly, okay, we are going to rock the next session, where you will see all combinations of sentences. Okay, all different combinations of sentences. Okay, right, let us look at this now. The last part, identification of sentences. Now whatever you have learned so far, that should be applied here. So you need to identify which is a simple, which is a compound, which is a complex. I'm giving all the sentence at a time. You can just spend some time on that. You can pause the video, or you can answer the questions for yourself. Please don't listen to my explanation directly. You first answer for yourself. Now I am explaining directly. Look at this. Mr. Pramod completed the project successfully. Okay, Mr. Pramod completed the project successfully. Now, what is this? Mr. Pramod completed the project successfully. Yes. If you look at this combination, is it a phrase or a clause? Mr. Pramod completed the project successfully. Is it a phrase or a clause? Tell me. Mr. Pramod completed the project successfully. Is there a subject verb agreement? That's the point I'm asking. Yes, there is a subject verb agreement. Mr. Pramod is a subject or not? Yes or no? Absolutely. Mr. Pramod is a subject. Completed is a verb form. Is there a phrase additionally? No. One simple sentence, one main clause, that's called a simple sentence. Come to the next one. What is this? Due to the setbacks, he started to feel sad. Due to the setbacks is nothing but a phrase, and he started to feel sad is nothing but a clause. Clear? So again, phrase and clause combination. What is that? Simple sentence again. Coming to the next one. Although it was late, they allowed me to write the exam. Although it is what here? Subject. Was is a verb combination, that is a clause. They is a subject, allowed is a verb, that is also clause. But remember, there is a conjunction in the beginning. What is the conjunction? Although it was late aina kuda, is it completed? No, right? So this part is a subordinating clause, and the second part is obviously main clause. So when there is subordinating clause and main clause, the sentence becomes what? That becomes a complex sentence. Okay. Next, English is easy to learn. English is easy to learn. And in continuation, what is given? English is easy to learn. So I joined the course. I joined a course. English is easy to learn. So I joined a course. Okay. I joined a course. When you say English is easy to learn, that is clause number 1. So conjunction, I joined a course is clause number 2. Yes or no? This is clause number 2. So if you look at this very carefully, there are two main clauses and there is fanboys. So when there is fanboys and two main clauses, that sentence is nothing but a compound sentence. Next, I would help you. If you asked me, I would help you is one single clause. If is a conjunction, you asked me is another clause. Now again, if the word if is not part of fanboys, see, you just remember like this. If the conjunction is not part of fanboys, that is subordinating conjunction. If fanboys conjunction is there, that is coordinating conjunction. So since there is subordinating conjunction, the entire sentence is nothing but a subordinating clause. So together that makes up a complex sentence. Clear? Next, last one. People ran away seeing the huge tsunami waves. People is a subject of the sentence. Ran is V2. Seeing is a verb. Who is seeing? People. So is there a subject? No, subject is missing from the second part. So this part is nothing but a phrase. So when there is a phrase, of course there should be a clause. The combination of a clause, phrase together, that becomes what here? That becomes a simple sentence. Clear? Done? So that's how you identify. So in the further slides, we are going to see all the statements that are formed basically like this. Okay, of course there are variations, models in that, but that's how they are formed. We need to be very careful. Okay, now let us look at this. Exercise number 1. So from here, guys, we are going to see all the status questions. So please stay tuned. Please stay tuned. You just have to answer them. And the people who are preparing for these competitive examinations, remember, you are going to see a model which is on the screen exactly, and this part has to be understood carefully before answering, because if you just keep on answering and feel like yes I know this, you're going to make it wrong. Okay, so first let us read the direction. Okay, what is the direction we have first? What is the direction? Look at the direction. What is it? Select the phrase or connector. So this is a phrase or connector. It must be at start. That fellow obviously would give at start. From the given 3 options, there are 3 options like this, Roman number 1, 2, 3, these 3, which can be used to form a single sentence. It should be a single sentence, not 2 sentences. Single sentence. That means it should be simple sentence, compound sentence, or complex sentence. Okay, so that's why we learned this. Because of this part, I gave you that introduction entirely. From the 2 sentences given below, this is sentence number 1, this is sentence number 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so there are 2 sentences. You need to combine these two using these starters, implying the same meaning as expressed in the statements. Implying the same meaning, you should get the same meaning as these two. So very important point in this combination we are going to learn is, the most important thing is you need to get the meaning, same meaning, without changing the meaning. We should frame the sentences. You can frame the sentence either in the simple or in the compound or in the complex, based on the given status. Okay, you remember that also. Okay, so now let us look at this. Look at the first statement. We need to frame the meaning. First one, what is the first statement? We see ourselves repeating our ordinary routine. So you can say we see ourselves repeating our ordinary routine. We are doing our ordinary routine. We know that. Continuation. We realize how much wealth surrounds our life. So the first part is nothing but we see ourselves, that is a reason. Second part is nothing but a result. You're realizing how much wealth surrounds our life. So you are seeing at your life, you are looking at the ordinary routine which is there in your life, and you just are able to realize, after looking at that, you are able to realize, that means you are looking at some reason and you are feeling the result. You're able to realize how much wealth surrounds our life. Clear? So first you need to make the sense like this. So there is a reason, there is a result. And the logic now is, you need to frame the sentences based on the given status. Now what is the first start? What is the first one here? When we see ourselves repeating our ordinary routine, we realize how much wealth surrounds us. See, the simple logic is, the word when can be replaced with the word if. Okay, so if you read the statement like this, if we see ourselves repeating our ordinary routine, we realize how much wealth surrounds us. Meaning is a bit changing, but you can better go with the word when only. Okay, when is the most suitable combination here. When is the most suitable combination. Okay, look at this. When we see ourselves repeating our ordinary routine, we realize how much wealth surrounds us. And you might ask me, sir, what kind of sentence is this? The word when is a subordinating conjunction. The first part will become a subordinating clause. Okay, so can we use the first part or not? Absolutely yes, right? So first one is fine, no problem. Now coming to the second part. What is the second part? Our ordinary routine. Where is this part? See, this one from here. Yes, now tell me, our ordinary routine. Can you start? Are you able to make a sentence? Are you able to make a simple sentence, compound sentence, or complex sentence? Nothing is possible. You are unable to continue the statement further. Okay, so the second part is absolutely out of the race. Coming to the third part. What is the third part? Realizing how much wealth. Now here I'm going to give you one of the most important rules in English grammar, in starters. Remember, you can start the sentence with ing. Of course, that ing is nothing but a phrase. Subject will miss. That will be a phrase. But when can you start like this? You can start only when the subject of the two clauses, there are two clauses, right? There should be two clauses. When the subject of the two clauses is same, when the subject of the two clauses is same, and the first action is clearly mentioned, that first action can be changed into ing. Now let me put it into better understanding. I will put it into sentence. Look at this. Watching the movie, he cried. Now the word watching is a verb. He is a subject, cried is a verb. Who cried? He cried. Who watched? We don't know. Subject is missing. So this part is absolutely a phrase, and this phrase is starting with the ing, right? Now the point is, who watched the movie? Of course, he watched the movie. Yes. Who cried? Of course, he cried. The subject of the two sentences is same, of course, but we are not adding that in the sentence. And this part, when we change it into a phrase, can be used with ing. But remember, there is a logic here. Out of these two actions, one action is watching and another action is cried. Now out of these two actions, which one is the first action? Watching is the first action. After watching, he cried, right? So the logic is, when the subjects of the two sentences are same, out of these two, you can take one verb which is the starting verb, that is the first verb, and you can change that verb into ing. Now if you look at this combination very carefully, what is the subject of the sentence here? We. What are the verbs of the sentences? See and realize. There is a possibility, okay, there is a possibility to change the statement into ing and start a phrase, but the logic is, the word that is given is realize. Now the word realize is the first action or second action? Second. See is the first action. You can say like this: seeing ourselves repeating our ordinary routine, we realize how much wealth surrounds our life. That is possible. But remember, when you are using the second verb as ing form and start a statement, your sentence is absolutely wrong. Now guys, you tell me, what is your answer? Your answer goes only with the first one. So we learned a rule now. What is the rule we learned? When the subject of the two clauses is same, you can take the first verb, and you can change it into ing and start the sentence, but not the second verb. Okay, now let us go to the second one. Yes, question number 2, which is on the screen. Now can you get the answers here? Look at this. There is a growing influence of Indian diaspora on Capitol Hill. Trump will certainly see the advantages of doing business with India. Clear? So Capitol Hill, it is in the USA. So there is growing Indian diaspora. Indian diaspora is nothing but, you can say, Indian people. There are a lot of Indian people who are going on Capitol Hill. Okay. So because of that, Trump will clearly see the advantage of doing business with India. See, let us say there are many people who went from India to USA, right? And Trump is seeing there are many people in the USA, and he might think that yes, I can now do business with Indians, because there are a lot of Indians, they may have to get a lot of goods, imports, exports from India, right? So that's how you need to speak about it. And if we frame the meaning, the first part will obviously become a reason. There is growing influence of Indian diaspora, and Trump will obviously take advantage of it. That will become a result. Remember, it is also given in SBAPO. The previous statement was also given in SBAPO mains exam. Okay, now let us look at the first statement. What is the first statement? As, the word as, since, because, for. So, and because of, due to, owing to, being, having plus V3, on being. You need to make a note of this. The logic is all these words give the meaning of reason and result. You can consider this as rule number 2. Okay, previously I gave one rule, ing rule, right? You can consider this as rule number 2. All these words express the meaning of reason and result. But why did they separate them? The separation is because, as, since, because they are all subordinating conjunction. When you use subordinating conjunction, that is a complex sentence. For, so, and, they are coordinating conjunctions. When you use coordinating conjunctions, that is a compound statement. Next, there are phrases in the beginning. When you use all these phrases, of course all of them are reasons, you are speaking about a simple sentence, so you should immediately able to be able to identify. And remember, it is not just these words, there are many other combinations that can give, but the standard expressions are the ones. Okay, now look at this, the second one, the growing influence of Indian diaspora on Capitol Hill. Now can you start the statement here? The sentence is from here, a growing, change to the growing influence of Indian diaspora on Capitol Hill. Is there a meaning? No meaning, right? You can keep the second one out. Now coming to the third one, what is the third one? With the growing influence of Indian diaspora on the Capitol Hill, Trump will certainly see the advantage of doing business with India. So with the growing influence is nothing but as the influence is growing on this Capitol Hill, influence of Indian diaspora, Trump will clearly see the advantage. So which of these two can be the perfect answers? That is the first one and also third one. Answer goes with the fourth one. You should get the correct meaning. Okay. Next, question number 3. Can you read that? What is it? There was no democracy in British India. There was no democracy in British India. Okay, clear. Fine. Next one. The rulers could take bold decisions fearlessly without bothering about the repercussions. See, there was no democracy. See, in Indian democracy, now, right now, we are in democracy, right? See, if leaders do whatever they want, it will not work out now. But in previous case, in British India, there was no democracy. It was all tyranny, right? So when those days were there, they could do whatever they want. They need not bother about the reactions. They would not bother about the results or punishments that they would get. So now the point is, there was no democracy in British India. This part will completely become a reason. So the rulers could do whatever they want. That will become result. Clear? So I would ask you to look at the combinations very carefully. What is this one? As, just before I gave you the words as, since, and because. Okay, they form complex sentences and they give the meaning of a reason and result combination. Look at this. As there was no democracy in British India, comma, the rulers could take bold decisions. Can we take that or not? Yes, first one is possible. Coming to the next one. What is the next one? Since there was no democracy in British India. When you use as, you can also use since, right? Both of them carry the same meaning. Even second meaning is also same. Go for shortcut quickly. Next, with the rulers taking bold decisions. No. You can say with having no democracy in India. You can start the sentence like that. But you cannot say with rulers taking, because previously we had seen with plus ing combination, which was showing the reason. But if you start the rulers taking bold decisions, see, the rulers taking bold decisions, that is a result. That's not a reason. So if there is a reason in this position, absolutely your answer is correct. So is there a possibility? No. Your answer should go with only 1 and 2. Next. Question number 4. Can you solve this? You can pause the question. You can pause the video. You can answer the questions. Meanwhile, I'm explaining. 12 million youth enter the Indian workforce every year. There are 12 million people who are getting graduated every year. Simple thing. Those many people enter the workforce. 80% of these youth are unskilled. Absolutely, we are speaking about the difference and also contrast. 12 million people are entering the workforce, one side. On the other side, 80% of this youth are unskilled people. We are speaking about the difference. One side they are getting graduated, another side they don't have skills. It is a kind of contrast. Okay, so look at this first one. What is the first one? While 80% of, no, you can say, while 10 million youth enter the Indian workforce every year, 80% of these youth are unskilled. You can frame the statement like that. But if you look at this combination, no, this is not possible. The first one is not possible. First one you can eliminate. Okay, first one you can eliminate, no doubt at all. Okay, next. Now look at the second one. What is the second one? Since. The word since give the meaning of what? I already told you the word since gives the meaning of a reason and result. Is there a reason and result or contrast? Contrast, right? We are speaking about the difference. We need to get the difference. Now coming to the third part. What is the third part? Of the 12 million youth entering the US workforce every year. Sir, why did you change the word enter to entering? Because if you look at this statement here, the sentence is starting with the word of. Remember, when any sentence is starting with the preposition, absolutely and 100%, that part is nothing but a phrase. Okay, that part is a phrase. And when you start a phrase, there should not be subject verb agreement. Do you remember this or not? Yes. So that's why I changed like this. Of the 12 million youth entering the Indian workforce every year, that becomes a phrase. Okay, the youth entering, the youth plus ing, there is no agreement, right? Subject cannot be used with directly ing, so there is no agreement. 80% of these youth are unskilled. Absolutely perfect, no problem at all. That answer goes only with the second one. Okay, so how is it now? So that's how you need to make the sentences. So now you do this, complete this. You can pause and listen to the explanation every time. Okay, for every question you pause, you first solve, and then you listen to the explanation. Look at this. Scientists build climatic models. They are computing simulations of the climate system. These climatic models are computer simulations of climate system. These are additional information. You can even keep that aside, no problem. They are doing this. Who is this they? They is nothing but scientist, right? So subject is same or different? Subject is same. So do you remember the logic I told you? If the sentence is starting with the ing, with the first action of ing, of course your answer is correct. Yes or no? Yes. Now look at this. They are doing this to further explore the causes and effects of global warming. Absolutely correct. Now look at the first statement. What is the first one? To further explore the causes and effects of global warming. How is the sentence? Once check that again. Look at that. What is given here? To further explore the causes and effects of global warming. All this is eliminated. You can immediately put a comma and continue this. What is this? Scientists build climatic models, computer simulations of the climate system. But remember, your sentence is starting with this combination. What is that? 2 plus v1. And what you need to know is nothing but we can start a phrase. So you already told us about the verb forms, but how do we start phrases with the verb forms? As I told you already, you can start the phrase with ing, no problem at all. You cannot start the phrase with v2. You cannot start the phrase with v5. You can start a phrase with v3, but you should have the combination of having plus v3. If we are starting with having plus v3, okay. And again, you cannot directly start with v1. You should instead have 2 plus v1. 2 plus v1. So you can start a phrase with 2 plus v1. You can start a phrase with having plus v3. You can start a phrase with ing. These three combinations. Clear? Now, look at the second statement. First one is possible. What is the second one? Scientists are building. Can we take that or not? The first statement as it is. Tense is changing. It's okay, no problem. Build is again v1, present tense only. Are building is also present tense. See, scientists are building climatic models, computer simulations of the climate system because they are doing this to further so and so, or as they are doing this to do so and so, and they are doing this to further so and so. You can use the best word can be used with is and. You can take the second one, no problem at all. Coming to the third one. What is the third one? Predicting. Is there a word predicting? Is there a word predicting in the given statements? No, right? Do you see any word predicting? No. That means they already predicted. No, they want to just explore the future. They want to explore the future, not predict the future. So absolutely this part goes wrong, third part goes wrong. So what is the correct answer here? Only 1 and 2, which is that option, fourth option. Next, question number 6. Look at the statement. The students practice for the program with diligence. Statement is absolutely positive, no problem. Diligence is lot of interest, lot of hard work. They, what is they? They is nothing but students. Okay, subject is same. There is a possibility of ing. They could not perform well during the program. Oh no, this part is absolutely a negative one, and the first part is absolutely positive one. So we are looking at what here? We are looking at contrast. And now watch this. Watch this. In spite of, despite, but yet, however, still, though, even though, although. Clear? Remember, the first set is simple sentence, second set formation is compound sentence, the third set formation is complex sentence. As simple as it is. It is done. So all these words give the meaning of contrast. Done. So whatever words you see like this, that should give the context. But remember, framing the meaning is very important. It's not about answer. You need to first frame meaning of the sentence. You need to understand that meaning. You need to read. Now look at this. What is the sentence starting? In spite of practicing for the program with diligence. But remember, this part is starting a phrase. Of course, you need a clause. Instead of they, you can start the sentence with the students. So in spite of practicing for the program with diligence, and in continuation, the students could not perform well during the program. So is it correct or not? Absolutely correct. A is fine. Coming to B, the students could not perform well during the program in spite of practicing for the program with diligence. Even that is also possible. You can reverse it, as I told you. You can reverse phrase with clause or clause with phrase. That is correct. No problem. Coming to the third one. What is the third one? The students practice for the program with diligence, but they could not perform well during the program. Is it right or not? Yes. Remember, first two sentences can be used in the simple sentence, no problem. And the second one can be changed into the compound sentence, no problem. All the three statements are absolutely fine. I'm reading the sentences. Watch once again. First part, A. In spite of practicing for the program with diligence, they could not perform well during the program. That is sentence number 1. Coming to B. What is B? The students could not perform well during the program in spite of practicing for the program with diligence. Even second one is fine. You can change it into compound, complex also, no problem. I don't have a problem changing it into single. Next, third one, look at this. The students practiced for the program with diligence. They could not perform well during the program. Done. Is it completed? So that's how you get the answers. Okay. Look at this. Employees should wear helmets while coming to the office. Okay. Employees, they should wear helmets while coming to the work. Maybe kind of caution. Okay. What's the next one? They will have to face consequence. See, it is kind of condition. So the condition is wear helmets. This is the condition. Wear helmets. That's a condition. Otherwise, we will face the consequences. So now let me give the words that give the sense of condition. First, in case of, in the event of, or otherwise, if not, unless. Okay, look at this first case. What is the first one? In case of not wearing helmets, you can use like this. In case of not wearing helmets while coming to the office, in the place of they, you can use the employees. Employees will have to face consequences. Is it correct or not? In case of not coming soon, you will not be allowed. In case of not writing the exam, you will not pass. In case of speaking loudly, you will be punished. All of them are conditions only. Next, what is the next one? Employee should. Remember, I'm giving you one more rule. The rule is, okay, here I forgot to write. These two are simple. This is compound. These three are complex. Okay, I gave you three rules so far, I hope, right? So one is reason and result. Okay, another one is contrast, that is one case, and another one is what? Now it is condition. So please make note of all these words at one place. They will help you a lot. Okay, now look at this. I'm giving one more rule. The rule is, if the first sentence starter is as it is given in the ABC combinations in the below ABC, it is given as it is, employee should, right? If the same sentence as the first sentence is given in the starters, 100%, 100%, that's your answer. No doubt at all. Don't think about it. Don't waste time. B is absolutely fine. Okay, you can use any one of these combinations. You can use the word R. So look at this. Employees should wear helmets while coming to the office, otherwise they will have to face consequences. Is that clear? Yes. Next, if look at the C, if employees do not wear helmets while coming to the office, they will have to face consequences. Absolutely fine, guys. So answer should be taken with 4. Question number 8, what is that? The company saw the momentum in sales. Company saw momentum. Momentum is positive word here. Okay, growth. Company saw the growth in the sales. Okay, it. What is it? The company started to produce a new batch of products. Oh, look at this. There is a growth. This is reason. They looked at the growth, and immediately what did they do? They improved their production capacity. That is result. First you should frame this meaning. So when you do that, it will become a lot easier. Look at this. First, seeing, as I told you before already, when the subject of the two sentences is same, you can pick the first verb, first action of the two sentences and change it into ing and start the sentence. Look at this. What is the verb here? Saw. What is the verb here? Started. Out of these two, which is the starting action? Seeing or starting? Seeing. First they saw, later they started. So what is the statement given here? Seeing the momentum in sales, in the place of it, use the company. The company started to produce a new batch of products. So see, I already told you this rule. It is applied, very simple. Now look at this. What is the second statement? The company started to produce a new batch of products after it saw the momentum in sales. Sentence is same. You are reversing it. No problem at all. You can use result with reason also, no doubt. Look at this. On starting to produce. See, they are not on starting. On seeing the momentum. You can say like this. On seeing the momentum in sales. Okay. In continuation, you can say the company started to produce so and so. Remaining sentence is same. Not on starting. As I told you already, right? So you can start with seeing. You can also start with on seeing. So the logic is the combination seeing or on seeing. Both of them are fine. That means V1 plus ing, or you can also use on V1 plus ing. Both of them are same. Okay. So, but here there is only the word starting. You cannot start the sentence here because the word starting is a second action, right? So C is out. Your answer is only A and B. That goes with the fifth option. Next question. The production of paddy is less this year. Okay, production of paddy is less, negative sentence, fine. Make the meaning, okay. There were heavy rains that damaged the agro industry. Oh, listen. There was heavy rain, not normal rain, heavy rain. You can say incessant rain, continuous rains. They damage the agro industry. That's why the paddy production is less. So can we say this heavy rains damaged? This is nothing but a reason, and the result is the production is very less. The result is this. So reason and result combination, right? Now look at this. Owing to, due to, I already gave you the list. Remember, owing to, due to, because of, same thing. Owing to heavy rains that damaged the agro industry, the production of paddy is less this year. Absolutely correct, guys. No doubt at all. If you have any doubt, just replace this word with the due to. Owing to, replace with due to. Same sense. And look at this. Next one. There were heavy rains. Look at this. There were heavy rains that damaged the agro industry. So the production of paddy is less this year. Meaning is same. Coming to the next one. What is the next one? The production. I already told you. If the first sentence starting is there, absolutely take it. No doubt. You can use it. The production of paddy is less this year as there were heavy rains. Now, what is your answer? Tell me. Your answer is all four. That's how you answer that. Okay. 10th one. Okay, this. The gout introduced a new scheme. Okay, introduce is a positive statement. Fine. It. What is it? The gout wanted to improve the standards of people. Okay, the government wanted to improve the standards of people. Okay, fine. So it wanted to improve. This can be taken as a reason. So because of that, they started to do this. This is result. Okay. Now look at this first one. What is the first one? In order to improve the standards of the poor. Can we take? Absolutely fine. In order to improve the standards of the poor, comma, the gout introduced a new scheme. Absolutely correct. The first one, no doubt. Next, the gout, as I told you already, the gout, if the starting statement is as it is, no doubt you take it directly, no confusion there. Next one, a new scheme. Now I'm going to give you another rule. The rule is, it is a combination of active voice to passive voice or passive voice to active voice. You can state this, you can change the statement from active to passive or passive to active in terms of status. Now look at this. To better understand that, you need to know this. The gout is a subject, introduce is a verb form, a new scheme is object. The logic is, you can reverse the statement and get the same answer. The new, a new scheme, not the new scheme. If at all there is a word the here, you cannot answer because that becomes particular, not introduction. So a new scheme was introduced by the government and it wanted to improve the standards of the poor. Is that clear? Or you can say, as it wanted to improve the standards of the poor. A new scheme was introduced, was plus V3, by the government as it wanted. It in the sense who? The government wanted to improve the standards of the poor. Absolutely correct. No doubt, no confusion. Your answer should be taken with all three. Next. 11th one. This was given in IBPS PO. Okay, watch the statement carefully. Mukesh Ambani's reliance is keen. That means they are very careful, very watchful to sign a binding agreement. So now they are very careful when they are signing a binding agreement. Okay, next one. In the second statement, what is it given? The agreement would be signed before next annual shareholders while meeting, which is due to take place before the end of April. Due to take place is not reason, it is a schedule. So here keen in the sense they are ready, they have a lot of interest. So have you got the meaning now? What is the meaning? Meaning is Mukesh Ambani's reliance is keen to sign a binding agreement. Now they want to do this, and the agreement would be signed before the next annual meeting, next annual shareholders meeting. Before that only they should do it. Okay, now look at this, the word however. Remember, I'm writing a list. However, moreover, otherwise, hence, therefore, such. No, not such, you can keep such away. Next, notwithstanding, nevertheless. The logic is, all these combinations cannot start sentences. They should be used only in the middle of two sentences. They combine previous and the following statement. They cannot directly start the sentence. They should be in the middle of two couple sentences. It should be in the middle. Clear? So sentence is starting with what here? However. Of course, it's contrast, but the point is you cannot start. Next, what is next one? Before the next annual shareholders meeting, Mukesh Ambani's Reliance is keen to sign a binding agreement which is due to take place before the end of April. Can we take that or not? Absolutely correct. B. Now coming to the C. What is C? Mukesh Ambani's Reliance is. I already told you, same statement, you can continue. So answer should be taken with BC. See how fast we can complete these statements. Again, this is IBPS PO. The bank plans to set aside 100 crore to 200 crore for the merger. Okay, they are planning something. They put this much of amount, 100 crore to 200 crore, very huge amount. Now it wants to run this merger scheme on a pilot basis only. At least 8 months they want to run this on the pilot basis. The point is they are investing so much of amount, but still they want to run it only for the temporary basis, initial time. So it's kind of contrast. You are investing so much, but your plan is only for the short term. So look at this. In spite of the pilot basis, no, it's not in spite of. In spite of investing this much, you can say. Okay. Now look at this. Second one. Despite the bank plans to invest. Sir, can we start this? Of course, in spite of and despite both of contrast only, no problem, no doubt at all. But the point is, the bank is a subject of the sentence, plans is a V5 form, there is subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement cannot go with the word despite. Is that clear? Despite should only start the phrase. I already gave you this point before. So please go back to the previous slides and watch that. Despite should only form phrases. In spite of should start form only phrases. But this phrase with in spite of is not meaningful. That's why we kept aside. Okay. Now look at the third statement. What is the third one? Though the bank plans, of course, though is a subordinating conjunction, we can keep a clause, no problem. Though the bank plans to set aside 100 crore to 200 crore for the merger, it wants to run this merger scheme on a temporary basis only. That is absolute contrast. Answer should take only with 3. Remember, in spite of is a contrast, despite is a contrast, though is also contrast. But out of these 3 contrasts, we are able to use only though, because the further statements which are there after in spite of and despite, they do not give the proper sense. And the second one is absolutely out. There is subject verb agreement here. We cannot use subject verb agreement with despite. See how logically they have given. And this was also given in one of the IBPS PO papers. Next question. Look at this. Social issues are distinguished from economic issues. Distinguished is nothing but to show variation. Okay, now there is difference, variance. Some issues have both social and economic aspects. Some social issues have both social and economic aspects. See, first statement that fellow is telling, social issues are different from economic issues. Social issues are different, economic issues are different. Okay, good. But what is the second one? Some issues have both social and economic aspects. So it's kind of contrast if you can observe very carefully. Look at this. Even though social issues are distinguished from economic issues, they have both social and economic aspects in some cases. Or you can say some issues have both social and economic aspects. Okay, let us read it again. Even though social issues are distinguished from economic issues, some issues have both social and economic aspects, both mixed up. First one absolutely can be taken. Look at this word. What is that word? Lest. The word lest is equal to the word if, which shows condition. Is there a condition? No. What is the next word? Moreover. Just before I told you, however, moreover, therefore, they cannot start the statements. So what is your answer now? Only one. Next. 14. Within the Sensex pack, 22 stocks gained ground. There should be a full stop. Gaining ground is a positive statement. That means they got improved. They got improvement. Good. Coming to the second one. What is second one? Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank contributed the maximum to the day's gain on that particular day, Sensex day, that particular day. Okay. So we can say these industries contributed more. That is reason 22 stocks gained ground. So we can go for like that. So the second statement can be a reason statement. First statement can be a result statement. Okay. Now look at the first one. Since. What is this? Since, say, first point number 1, there should not be comma. Okay, let us not consider comma. Let us look at this. Since Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank contributed the maximum to the day's gain, within the Sensex pack, 22 stocks gained ground. Can we take that or not? Yes, absolutely fine. What is the next one? Within the Sensex pack. What is that? Within the Sensex pack. This statement is starting or ending? Starting. I already told you, if you are starting the statement as it is as a given starter, absolutely that's your answer. What is the next one here? contradicting. Is there a contradiction or reason and result? Reason and result. There is no contradiction. There is no opposing statement. I mean, that is C. But C cannot be taken. Their answer should only be used with A and B. Next. 15. SEBI has amended. What is amended? Amendment is nothing but change. Changed the depository and participants regulation. So it changed some rules. Simple combination is SEBI has amended some rules. Clear? Next, what is next one? It. What is it? SEBI includes an additional explanation that states that pledge would not also refer to repledge of securities for margin or settlement obligations. See, this is all a rule, okay? This is a rule. We are not bothered about all the rule. We need only the combination which is there. SEBI has amended something, it included something. Clear? Subjects of the both statements is same. So it amended something, it includes something. We got that clarity. Now look at C. What is C here? In spite of. Can we use? In spite of is a contrast. Absolutely out of the race. You cannot use contrast here. There is no contrast. SEBI is trying to change something. It is doing because of this. It is including this. It is including something else. You can say that is parallel action, but not, I mean to say time sequencing action, but not contrast action. Now, what is A here? What is A? Wants to amend. Wants is V5, which is upcoming action. SEBI wants to do it in the future, or SEBI has already done it. It has already done it. It has amended already. It has amended already. Even A is out. What is B here? By including an additional so and so, so and so, so and so, SEBI has amended the depository and participatory regulations. The B statement is absolutely fine. We are starting the combination with ing because the two subjects are same. Your answer can be taken with the second. Next. Question number 16. RBI is concerned about the risk of investing in mutual funds. Okay, RBI is very much concerned. No, don't invest in mutual funds. It is afraid. Okay, next. What is this? RBI, both are same. RBI is likely to ask banks to reduce their investments in mutual funds. See, let us say we have many banks like SBA, so on, so on, so. These banks usually invest in funds, okay, like stock markets, mutual funds, and all. Now RBI is concerned. Arey Baba, you are going and investing in stocks. All your portfolio is in, all your profits are invested in the stocks. If you invest in stock markets and mutual funds, what if the stock market is down? Your bank will be shut down, right? So I am afraid you don't do that. RBI is asking that. Okay. So RBI is concerned about the risk of investment. So it is asking these banks to reduce their investments. Now look at this. What is this? At the risk of investing. Is there a sense? There should be reason, result, or there should be a goal, some goal. There should be time sequencing. There should be time contrast. There is nothing like that. A is absolutely out. What is B? To reduce their investments in mutual funds, RBI is concerned about the risk of investing. No. The meaning is, there is no meaning. To reduce their, who is their? Banks. To reduce their investments in mutual funds, or let us say to reduce banks' investment in mutual funds, the RBI is likely to ask banks again. No, there is no meaning, guys. There is no meaning. You cannot put it. Next, concern. No, you can say concerned about the risk. You can say concerned about the risk. You can start the sentence like that. No problem at all. But C is not given like that. Your answer is what here? None of this. There can be a possibility of none of this. Yeah, look at this. Food inflation is touching 20%. Okay, food inflation, that means the prices are increasing. The prices are increasing. The government will have to tighten monetary policy to further to prevent further rise. So food prices are going up. So the government is trying to control those prices. Okay, now look at this. What is this? Although food inflation is going, so the word although is an indicator of contrast. Is there a contrast for reason and result? The first point is a reason, the prices are going up, and the second point is nothing but a result. The government wants to take some action. That is a result. Not possible. A is out. What is B? With the tightening of monetary policy to prevent further rise. No, there is no sense. With the tightening of, and as I told you already, if you are starting a statement with ing combination, you are starting a sentence with ing combination, there is a combination of ing, and what is this word here? Tightening. Who is doing this action? Let us say government is doing, but here there is no government subject, right? The subjects are not same. Even B is out. Coming to C, what is C? Given that, that means there is a proof that the food inflation is touching 20%. So giving this statement, the government will have to tighten the policy. So as showing the evidence, so given that is nothing but by showing the evidence that so and so thing is happening, the government will have to tighten the monetary policy. So C is absolutely fine. Answer comes only with the third one. So we should apply the same sense. That's the point. Next, question number 19. The government has decided to install renewable energy devices at prominent cities. Okay, anything wrong? No. Sentence is positive. It has decided to add some renewable energy devices. Good, no problem. Citizens will be more aware of their benefits. There refers to what here? These devices. So when government installs all these renewable devices, citizens will become more aware. See, you can say this is reason and this is result. Clear? This will become result. Let us look at the statement. The government's decision to install renewable energy devices at prominent sites will make citizens become aware of their benefits. What did it tell now? You need to take it down. Otherwise, you cannot do it. That is a simple sentence. The government's decision to install renewable energy devices at prominent sites will make the citizens become more aware of their benefits. First one, absolutely you can take. That's a simple sentence. No doubt at all. Coming to the next one. What is next one? Deciding. If you are starting a sentence with ing, the two subjects should be same. Are the two subjects same? There is no subject in the second one. The subject is what here? Government. What is the subject here? Citizens. Both are not same. What's next one? By making. If you use that, even it is the same sense. By making. Where is this by making? There is no word making. Is there a word making in the statement? No, there is a word. There is no word making. You cannot add the word making here when there's a word that is not there in the sentences. So even C is out. So what's your answer now? That's the first one. Next one, team. What is this? The company's sales were low at the beginning of the year. Okay, negative. Its sales have picked up in the past few months. This is positive. Oh, this is contrast, right? Look at this. What is the word here? Though. What is the word here? Despite. What is the word here? However. But however, we cannot start. However, of course, however is a contrast. We cannot start. Despite low sales at the beginning of the year, comma, the company sales have picked up in the last few months. Can we take that? Absolutely correct. What is A? Though the company sales were low at the beginning of the year, its sales have picked up in the past few months. Absolutely correct, guys. Look at this. The first statement is complex statement starting with though. The second statement is a simple statement which is starting with despite. A and B are perfect answers. Next. Now, that is it for the exercises. And now here I'm going to teach you one important rule which is there in English, which is called dangling modifier. Okay, so I'm adding this slide separately because I could just explain it in the previous slides only, but I wanted to add this separately because there are many people who are taking this dangling modifier in a wrong way. That means either the faculty or the students or some other sources, they're teaching it in a different way and the students are going wrong to understand this. Okay, now look at one statement. Okay, first statement. What is the first one? Having read the book, the film was made. Case number one. What is the case number two? Watching the news, the old man got heart attack. Now, to make you better understand what is a dangling modifier, okay, forget about dangling modifier now. First, let us look at the second statement. What is the second statement? Watching is verb form. There is no subject. Who is watching here? No subject. Of course, that is a phrase. The old man got heart attack. The old man is a subject and got is a V2. Who got heart attack? The old man. Who watched the news? The old man. Of course, both of them are same. Old man watched the news. Old man got heart attack. Is the subject of the two sentences same or different? It is same. When the subject of the two sentences is same, that is called as the modifier case. What is it called? Modifier. Modifier in the sense, this second statement, I mean to say, the second clause, okay, this clause, the second statement is modifying the first phrase, because the first phrase is incomplete, right? So to get the complete sense, we are adding the second clause, and the second clause is absolutely modifying the first clause. So what do you understand it now? When the second clause is modifying the first phrase and the subject of the two sentences is same, that part is called as modifier. What is it called? Modifier. But I'm not teaching about modifier, I'm teaching about dangling modifier. And what many people actually think is, when the subjects of the two sentences is same, so the old man got heart attack, the old man also watched news, people are treating this as a dangling modifier, which is absolutely and 100% wrong. That's not dangling modifier, that's just modifier, because this second clause is able to modify the first phrase. It is getting connected, the subject of the two sentences is same, that's called modifier. Coming to the third one, look at the coming to the fourth statement, 2 and 4, look at this. What is the fourth one? Having seen the movie, the lady cried. Who saw the movie? The lady. Who cried? The lady. Is the subject both same or different? Same. So the second clause, the second statement is modifying the first part. That's called as modifier again. That's called modifier. That's called modifier. The subject of the true sentence is same, that's called modifier. And now I am going to teach you what is dangling modifier. Now look at the first statement and the third statement. What is the first statement? Having read the book, you don't know who is reading it, but having read, that is a verb. What is missing here? Subject. The film was made. Made, okay, made is a verb, the film is the object. Do you know who is this, who is doing this action? Who is doing this action? Made. Of course, this part is a clause, you cannot say this is a phrase, that is a clause, but that's object verb agreement. That's object verb agreement. Another point is, there should be a same subject in these two statements. First of all, here subject is missing, and the logic is there is no subject even in this statement also. Do you say subject in the first statement? No, there is object, this part is object, this object verb agreement, still that is also clause, still that is also clause. Object verb agreement is also called as a clause, no doubt at all. And now, to surprise you, let me make it into modifying statement. So what is modifying statement now? In continuation, let us say the film was made by the director. Okay, now who read the book? The director. Who made the film? The director. This is called modifier. But if this part is not there, if you use only till here, of course this is a clause, meaningful statement, no doubt, of course together that is a simple statement, phrase with clause. But the point is, the word film, does it read? No. What is missing here? Subject is missing. Now this second clause, is it modifying the first clause, first phrase? No, it is not modifying. And this part is called as dangling modifier. Dangling is nothing but something that is hanging in the middle with no sense or no meaning. There is no sense, there is no meaning. That's called dangling. Remember this. Now coming to the third statement. What's the third one? Stepping in my garden. Stepping is the verb, we don't know who is the subject. A snake had bitten me. A snake had bitten me. See, snake is doing the action, snake is a subject, had bitten is a verb. Who is the receiver of the action here? Me is the receiver. Snake should do two actions. Of course, snake has bitten, it is doing one action, action number 1. Okay, and did the snake step in the garden? No, somebody, let us say I stepped in the garden, so snake bitten me, snake had bitten me. Now you cannot say the second clause is modifying the first phrase. It is not a modifier, because the subject of the two verbs is not same. Here the verb is bitten, snake is doing that. Here the verb is stepping, snake is not doing that. I did it. So when the subjects of the two sentences is not same, but the still statement is made, such kind of sentences or modifications are called as dangling modifiers. Remember, modifiers like 2 and 4 statements, they have a clear meaning. They have a clear meaning. Okay, there is no confusion. Subjects are same. There are verbs clearly. But the sentences like the first one and the third one, remember, they are dangling modifiers. We need some time to understand them. So remember, my dear students, you don't always get modifiers. Of course, sometimes you may get dangling modifiers. Of course, in the given examples, I had given all modifiers only. I did not give dangling. As I told you, when there is a phrase starting with ing, when there is a clause which has subject plus verb, and the subject of this clause and the subject of this phrase, of course there is no subject, the subject which does this action, the subject which is doing this action, if they both are same, that is called as modifier. If the subject of this clause is not doing this action, that is called as dangling modifier. Remember this. Many people are going against this. That means they are taking this opposite. So do not do that. Real. So thank you so much for watching. This is it for this class. In the further classes, I will give you the advanced English grammar rules. I may do the simple compound complex in the further videos, so please stay tuned. I will give all the basics again. I will explain all the basic points, and I will take you to the rules of the statements, and I will teach you how to change one simple statement into compound and compound statement into complex. Okay, so all that examples will be done in that video. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe it and get the updates on time. So see you in the next class. Thank you once again for watching.